Yo, what's up, guys? Pigmento here, bringing you 3 tips to help you guys out in the upcoming solo FNCS and Dreamhack solo competition. So first off, for the tips, we got drop spot, mechanics, and finally, confidence. So the timestamps of all these tips are down in the description box down below. And if you guys want any help or a deeper explanation on any of these topics or solos in general, feel free to leave a comment. I'll answer them all, or DM me on Discord. My Discord is down in the description box as well. So let's get into tip number 1, which is about finding a viable drop spot. In solos especially, a drop spot can win you tournaments or make you run out of games early. So the first thing to do in finding a landing spot is to scour the whole map in that game mode. So for example, if finding a solo drop, you should land all of these places in solos, not trios or another game mode, because you will not get an accurate representation of how efficient your mat gathering and looting process will be. Another thing to do is to not underestimate the original drop spots that got flooded, as most of the focus is on the new trashed zones on the left side of the map. Also, if you didn't know about lootlake.info, you should definitely check it out because you can find out how much loot each POI has. So for example, let's take a look at an original POI, Craggy Cliffs. It was flooded this last season, so it is often overlooked. However, you can see on lootlake.info it has 7 chests and 7 slurp barrels. If you find possible landing spot from lootlake.info or your own experience and you want to try it out, I would recommend playing Arena and Zone Rule Customs to see how many people land there, where they land, and if people push into your POI. Last thing about your landing spot is materials. With this season, a lot of rocks and trees are covered in water. As a result, it may be more challenging to harvest mats outside your POI, so see how many materials you can get and how efficiently. Another thing, there are about 2-3 weeks until these solo competitions. So once you find a place that you think you kind of like, I would keep going there. Perfect your drop so you get a good elevation when you land in, so you can land first on guns. And just figure out all the nooks and crannies of your drop so you can beat anyone that lands there. Next up, we have tip number 2, which is about mechanics and how to improve them efficiently. I would highly recommend making a routine for this so you can consistently practice your aim and editing. Remember that a consistent warm-up leads to consistent gameplay, especially in tournaments. Having a friend grind with you is another thing I would recommend because it makes the training more fun, which means you're more likely to do it. Another advantage to working on mechanics with a friend is the communication while aiming and editing. Destiny's Jesus, a pro Fortnite coach for FaZe Clan, recommends this as you will communicate more to your teammates in 1v1s in team modes. One thing though, if you are 1v1ing one friend a lot, you should ask them if they see patterns in your gameplay, such as always opening a window after a peanut butter or always side jumping to the right, because the last thing you want to be in Fortnite is predictable. This may be an issue for you on the other hand if you 1v1 the same friend all the time. You will learn what they do and always counter it, which doesn't help you improve. Instead, I would often 1v1 people from an open scrim server. Even though they may be worse than you, they will have a different playstyle that you can learn to counter by versing them in creative. If you aren't sure what to do in creative, these are some maps I suggest. All the codes are on the screen. There's aim training, aim duel, you need 2 people for that one. Realistic 1v1 through 1v4, you can use that one for trios and solos, and there's a specific one made for 1v1 realistics. Next up, we got tip number 3, which is about confidence. I believe confidence is the number 1 most important thing. Confidence can make up for lower mechanics or game sense just because you believe in your ability. I'd say that a lot of players do poorly because they are not confident in their ability. So, how do you become more confident like these pro players? Such as Kiriachi32, an EU player that plays on 60 ping. He knows he can win every fight he gets into. To gain this confidence, you can play a lot of creative, but treat it with the same seriousness as you would a tournament. In creative, I think realistics are the best because they have random loadouts and limited mats. Another thing is arena. It is so good. It is amazing. You may have heard this from other people, but I will tell you why. People will push you mid-game just like they will in real tournaments, or you will get into mid-game fights that may make you shambles, and you can learn how to get yourself out of these sticky situations in Arena where mistakes don't come at a cost. Zone rule customs are good for endgame practice, but have no mid-game fights due to the rules. And if you can't make it past mid-game, your endgame skills won't be able to shine. Thank you everyone for watching this far into the video. I hope these 3 tips were able to help you and that you can incorporate them into your gameplay. But anyways, if this video gets 10 likes, then I will post a video next week with 3 more tips for solo FNCS and Dreamhack Anaheim. But if you guys want to support me, you guys can use code Pigmento in the Fortnite item shop. I'm a hashtag epic partner, and I do stream occasionally on Twitch, Pigmento on Twitch as well. And thank you so much for watching. Hope these really helped.